Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, December 3rd. This will be quite an interesting week around here as we will closely monitor a storm threat for the late weekend in the Mid-Atlantic region. This particular storm system looks like it'll approach Southern California around Thursday or so, then take a very southern track across the deep south, impacting places like Texas to the southeast U.S. late this week and this weekend. Snow is a good bet across the I-40 states, maybe just to the north of I-40 later in the week into the early part of the weekend. There is potential certainly for a significant snow event in North Carolina, Virginia over the weekend. Whether or not it makes it up the I-95 corridor, still a little early to say, but it certainly remains on the table. This is the forecast of the next 7 days total precipitation by NOAA from last night. A couple things I want to point out here. First of all of this precipitation, mainly off the coast of California, is from that approaching Pacific storm. Again, it arrives near Southern California around late Wednesday, Thursday time frame, and then takes a southern track. And certainly it looks like Texas to the southeast U.S., there will be significant rain, maybe some severe weather late this week into the early part of the weekend, maybe even significant snow in places along the I-95 corridor just to the north of I-95 north. This particular forecast map suggests to me that the NOAA forecasters believe this storm will continue in more or less a west to east fashion, not right up the eastern seaboard. This is a forecast going all the way to early Monday. I certainly would not take this off the table yet for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. There certainly still remains a potential for this thing to ride up along the I-95 corridor. We're talking about the Sunday, Monday time frame. Well, let's take a look at the current surface map. And all in all, the next 5 days will be relatively quiet here. Not totally inconsequential in terms of some weather systems here. We could have a couple of shots at some snow showers over the next few days, but basically a quiet 5-day period or so leading up to the weekend, and at that particular time there will be a strong storm down across the southeastern U.S. and again we'll monitor to see if it comes up along the Atlantic seaboard. But today, Monday, looks like it probably will turn out to be the mildest day of the week in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, with high temperatures in the 50s, but cold front already moving through the area right now, high pressure over the northern plains, and indeed cold air will push into the mid-Atlantic region in the overnight hours. Considerably colder tomorrow compared to today. Again, maybe low to mid-50s today, more like 40 degrees for highs on Tuesday in the D.C. to New York City corridor. Looks like once that chill arrives in the overnight hours, it'll really stick around right through the remainder of the work week and into the weekend, potentially setting us up for a snow event late in the weekend in the Mid-Atlantic region, early part of next week. Well, let's take a look at the forecast maps. I'm using last night's zero-Z version of the FV3 GFS model. This is the soon-to-be replacement for the GFS model early in 2019. This model will actually replace the current operational GFS. Still generally similar in many respects to the GFS. Again, this is called the FV3 right now, and we'll look at the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps going forward here in 6-hour increments. These maps available from tropicaltidbits.com. First of all, a lot of lower heights than normal across much of the nation right now. Now let's keep moving forward. Again, we start off the week relatively mild in the Mid-Atlantic region. High temperatures right around now, around 50 degrees for normals in Philadelphia, for example. We'll be at or slightly above that today, but then colder than normal for the remainder of the week. And here we go. We have basically lower heights than normal for the next several days here. Now we are into midweek. And here we go by late Wednesday. Notice off the coast of California. This is the storm system to monitor, certainly for the second half of the week into the weekend. It starts off with a very southern track into Southern California. Let's keep moving forward here. And that ends up really taking a west to east track across the deep south. Again, it'll have a significant impact on places like Texas all the way up into the I-40 corridor here. This is now by Saturday morning here. Notice another upper level low over New England. That'll play a crucial role in the exact timing of this particular event here. And again, this just rolls right across into the southeastern states by the latter part of the weekend. It is this time period where there could be significant snow in places like Virginia and North Carolina, potentially up across D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. A little too early to say about that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. Certainly looks a little bit more likely right now for a significant snow event. Interior North Carolina, Virginia. But again, certainly this can still take a turn to the north and east, farther to the north and east that the GFS is now indicating, or even the FV3 version of the GFS. This particular model has a tendency to be a little bit farther to the south and east with East Coast storms several days ahead of the event time, and oftentimes will track farther to the north and west as you get closer to the event time. Well, now let's take a look at the surface forecast maps again from the 0Z FV3 version of the GFS. Not much precipitation at all right now in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, probably the mildest day of the week in the lower to mid-50s for highs, but overnight tonight, notice the isobar pattern here setting up kind of a familiar tune here with northwest winds setting up in the overnight hours. Colder air becomes much more noticeable, and by the time Tuesday rolls around here, we'll have high temperatures much closer to the 40-degree mark on Tuesday afternoon compared to the 50s today. Notice off of California already seeing signs of that approaching Pacific Ocean storm as the week progresses here. Now let's go into the middle part of the week. And here we go, some rain, especially along the coastal sections, and snow in the interior sections of California, the higher elevation locations. Here we are now by Wednesday morning. There'll be a reinforcing shot of cold air, by the way, on Wednesday in the Mid-Atlantic region. Could produce a few snow showers. Now let's keep moving forward, and here's that low pressure area that will be closely monitored as we move into Thursday. Another reinforcing shot of cold air into the Mid-Atlantic region. Just a series of cool fronts or cold fronts during this upcoming week, and that really paves the way for a potential wintry event here late in the weekend if indeed this storm system rides up to the north and east, because from Tuesday on right through the remainder of the work week into the weekend, we will be below normal temperature-wise here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's keep moving forward here. Again, Texas to be impacted significantly by late in the week, and snow and sleet farther to the north. This will become quite likely a significant snow producer again along the I-40 states into places like North Carolina or Virginia over the weekend. Here we go. This is again the 0Z FV3 version of the GFS model here by Sunday morning. Here we go. Chances are there'll be an initial low heading into the Tennessee Valley, and then kind of a redevelopment along the coastline. This particular model run has significant snow going up into D.C. and even towards Philadelphia. A little bit different than the operational version of the GFS model run, and these are flip-flopping back and forth between model cycles here. Sometimes they keep the storm system suppressed to the south. Certainly it remains on the table for a significant storm even in the I-95 corridor late in the weekend, early part of next week. We're talking about Sunday, Monday time frame, so we'll continue to monitor this closely over the next several days here at PerspectaWeather.com. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.